But it really oughtn't be the role of the engineers to decide. It ought to be society deciding, okay, now that we know that we are actually making these decisions all the time, we just don't blame anyone for making the wrong one. What should be the right one, and how should we encode it in rules, regulations, policy?
Okay, perfect. Anna?
Yeah, so I don't collect, as in I don't generate the data myself in the health area. So I work with everybody from molecular biologists who generate kind of biological data or cellular data to the doctors that are observing patients and giving me clinical data that they have collected on the patients that they have observed. So I think just to tie it back to the previous question, in my field, it's actually quite important in terms of making a decision. It is quite important to have an expert on board to be interpreting the data correctly, to be interpreting the results of the model correctly, and to know where to put the emphasis on in the model. So something that, and I learn every day. So for example, I work with a surgeon who resects thyroid cancers, and we have developed a model, and we were discussing the model to predict whether or not to do the surgery, because the surgery is very dramatic and they do too many surgeries, like 60% of surgeries are unnecessary. So we are trying to reduce that. And we said, well, we can reduce it to maybe 20%. And he said, but you are not taking into account what the patient wants. And the reality is that when they do the biopsy, for example, they don't really know whether it's cancer. They only know that it's cancer after the surgery, for sure. But if the biopsy comes back malignant, some of the patients will choose to do the surgery even if it's not strictly necessary, to be sure, to be on the safe side. So this kind of decisions will have to, from the patients, will have to come into the design of the algorithm to make sure that we give such a, an option for this information too.
What's your opinion on the collection of patient data in order to help you, let's say, aggregate the information to be able to help you in determining cures, for example?
Yeah. So I think it's absolutely necessary. I think the data, human biology, human system are very complex. There's no way that we can just guess it or just get it from a few hints. We still don't understand